So you're mainly trying to learn Genji Tracer.
Yeah.
Alright, do you have a preference?
I like them both, but in terms of like movement options and everything except for the primary fires and secondary fire, I prefer Genji
Hmm.
because I played the Ninja Girl in Rebels.
Oh, Psylocke.
Yeah, I got like back in season 1 or 0 or whatever, I got GM on her.
Hmm. Okay.
I feel like the movement is kind of the same.
Yeah. I mean, Genji was a game changer in terms of movement back in the day. Or just something you've never seen. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, Ryan really shouldn't be this far up, but I mean, honestly, we can play like further back, like just a little bit safer as they like walk up. Like we can be here, that's
Okay.
fine. But then as they start to walk up and there's like a bit more, especially with that Zenyatta, that Discord, it becomes a big problem. We can just kind of back up a bit more, and then chill that angle. Uh, yeah. As soon as our Ryan dips, we need to dip too.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate though. Okay. Now we got Soldier.
Yeah, with Soldier because I saw they had Echo.
Yeah. Nice. See, Soldier's not bad against Echo either. You just gotta farm your rail. Yeah, okay. So we
Yeah.
made the we saying that so we have to be very, very careful when we're the only one that anyone can see. Because like our tank is way up here. So we have like there's 3 people looking at us that we're just gonna get the full brunt of their attack. So in this situation when our Ren's like up here and he's low, what we can do is take this like kind of off angle here and like play this cover. So if we start taking heat, we could back off because as they try to push up and push towards like our team, what's left of it, we can kind of catch them as they're, like catch them in the side or in the back. And
Yeah,
like especially
okay.
if this Risa wants to walk up towards that Rhine or towards point or whatever, we can get a better like line of sight on that Zen or that Ana. Or alternatively, you could quickly run up here and just try to play with your Rhine. But ultimately, I'd recommend trying to play somewhere around here, away, where you can let your Rhine kind of take the bait from the Orisa. Especially now that you're not playing Sojourn. If you're playing Sojourn, a lot of like you really want to use the Orisa to build up that rail, to then railgun someone else. So like here, you'd build up that rail on the Orisa, and then you try to look for a pick on Zen with that railgun. But with Soldier, you don't need that, so Orisa's just in the way, So you want to try and get out of the way of the Orisa to like actually look for the targets you're looking for. Yeah. And it's gonna be a lot like this because he's playing Reinhardt and he's playing into Orisa, and he's also very clearly a passive Reinhardt, which means there are gonna be a lot of instances where he's just gonna start backing up and be very scared. So this is already like this is we're not getting that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, as soon as our Rhine died first, or at the end there, we're not getting that in time. Yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, I hope our Rhine doesn't play up there. I really hope not. Okay, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. You can also jump on either side of this on these little lips, and then jump up onto this, and then run and jump across,
Oh,
and
I
play up
didn't know
here.
that.
Yeah. So you can do it to anybody, not just like Soldier. I do it on cast all the time. I don't like to stay up here, but it's nice to get a quick angle, look for something. You can even jump from over there to over here. Which I wouldn't do unless like you were looking for a kind of ult where they don't know that you're here. But it's worth
Mhm.
knowing. You could even be kind of annoying and like run over here early and then play this way. But you have to be wary on Soldier just because he has that mobility, he can get away. Especially when if you have a Ryan like this where he just kind of has to sit there and just take damage, like he's not really able to do anything proactively because the Orisa is just going to shut him down entirely. So by allowing him to just keep being the bait and playing around in different areas and trying to circumvent that Orisa, so by playing up here you can shoot into her backline without the Orisa being in the way. It's essentially taking as many angles as you can that the Orisa can't really stop you from taking, and just kind of cut out the middleman. So imagine you're up here now, right?
Yeah.
This position is not bad either. This is like a default position. This is not. I'm not ever gonna be mad at you standing up there. Like this angle is gonna be Echo can come up here and
Here I can
that's
kill
it.
her. I
You
can
know,
kill
yeah.
Zen as well.
Like this is a very uncomfortable position to deal with as the enemy team. Again, except for Echo, which I mean, depending on your confidence level, you can easily take the Echo down. Especially in this situation, like if you were to like hide and wait a bit more, and then come out now rather than being here the whole time, kind of thing, you know. Then that can afford you a lot of free kills. It's really good. Okay, that's just on Ana for waking him up like that.
Yeah. How should you burst him with the right click? And then whatever?
Yeah. So you want to? No, you did everything perfectly there. Like you had to reload. Like there's. Yeah, I mean basically you just gun him down. Like if you can try to like I'll wait till he gets in the save. Try to like get behind him so you can see his head. Wait, where are we? Oh. Go back here. When? Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know why I went so far. So like here, like this is an unfortunate timing because you have to reload whatever. But the ultimate best way to do it is like try to sit here and then just gun him down in the head, and then as he's about to be standing up, you hit him with like a right click and a punch, just to really seal the deal if he's full HP. I mean here, honestly, you can put like 7 bullets into his skull, he'll die, on the health bar alone.
Okay.
But I mean, like I said, he's low enough. You did everything perfectly fine. It's just Ana woke him up too early, and you didn't have your Helix Rocket anyway.
I think she nanoed him and he got antsy for her.
Yeah, or he died too quick. Honestly, don't even mind you getting that kill. I honestly don't mind it because you're gonna get back faster than that Zen will, and that will allow you guys to like, because like you've kind of already lost that fight, losing your Rhine over the Orisa. Like the Orisa's still alive, so by taking that Zen out, it can kind of help alleviate that and allow you to allow the Rhine to come back. It's like now Zen might be able to be back, but like his team's dead, right? So I don't mind that greed at all. I would retake high ground though as quickly as possible. I know the payload's here still, but like the Rhine is just unfortunate, but you just kind of ignore him. But you kind of want to retake. This position is so hard to like kind of deal with for the attacking team. You want to every opportunity you have to utilize this position. So every time you win a fight in this general area and they have to come back and it's a full reset, come back up here. Even if no one else is coming with you, stay up here and then make them force you off, right? Like you don't overstay your welcome, but you know, utilize what you can and then back off if you need to, you know, especially on like Soldier, you have that mobility. I wouldn't even mind you like taking a nice greedy flank on the left side. Oof, that's unlucky. Oh, that's really unlucky.
She got both of us, yeah.
Yeah, that was fully for the Kiri. That's unfortunate. I hate Zenyatta. He's the dumbest thing this game's ever created. And not really, but pretty close.
No, one I can't handle is Kiriko. Like the cleanse, I just can't deal with that.
Yeah. You either have to, I mean, it depends on the character you're playing. If you're on a certain character, it's worth just getting the cleanse out for it. If you're on another, you just have to like hope someone else can bait it out for you or try to bait it out yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, they're just not capping. Wait, they're actually throwing. What are they doing? What are they doing? Oh, you honestly should have ignored the Mei. Yeah. Now we should have an easier time just kind of chilling behind the Rhine and then just playing the main angle. And you're also looking to punish that. We see that she uses that gold, especially now that you have a Zen. That's beautiful. So as soon as she uses that gold, that's like the green light. What is he doing? That's the green light to just drill her in the face as much as possible. It's really gonna help your Rhine be able to play the game, because ultimately as a DPS, your job is to just make your tank be able to play the game. Like your job is to make the tank have fun. And it's whoever is a tank is having the most fun is the one that wins. You run out of the way. So we can also, with any kind of ult like this goes for Sigma ult, this goes for Blizzard. This is an LOS based ultimate, which is stemmed from this Blizzard. So even if you're here, you're not going to be frozen, even though you're in the ring, because you're LOSing the like actual center of it. Same thing with like Sigma's ult has like a similar like kind of pattern where it's a darker like circle, where you might be here and you might be in the ring, but as long as you're not in the line of sight of that actual like source, then you won't get hit by it. So try to instead of just trying to run away, try to look for
Just
like
get
the
closest
quickest.
cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Obviously like shields don't work. Like you can't LOS from a shield, but yeah, I'm running away at this point, honestly. Yep. Yeah, your cure is dead, but that's okay. I'd leave now. Yeah. We have ults though. I mean, ultimately with Visor, if you don't have like a combo for it, which you have Kitsune Visor, so like that is a good combo, but like I'm not confident in this Kiri's like ability to to wait for your Visor. So I wouldn't plan on it. But yeah. So if you don't have that kind of combo, you're not really looking for like a huge Visor. Like if you can take a kill, great, but like a lot of times you're just gonna use it just to LOS, just to pop it, and like force people back. So that way they're not like, so you're zoning them, right? So instead of like shooting them and killing them all, like you're just trying to buy some time. So it's great for like if you guys are like really starting to get hounded, to kind of give yourself some more breathing room. Especially if they have like a trank or something, it could be good just to force the trank out, you know. But another good position that is worthwhile to note is if you go up here. I mean, obviously forget this Reaver share, right? But if you play here, this is a great Visor position that you can access at pretty much any time throughout this fight, you know, throughout this entire like payload path. If you guys didn't die in such a way up here where you'd be able to retake another fight here where the payload's like here, I would say like you could play up here. But obviously like the way that they came out, it's super late, so you know you're stuck here. But this position is really good, especially for like a sneaky Visor. You could probably catch a support off guard if they don't have like trank or whatever to stop it, or even just this lower one. That was a good time to Visor. Do it.
That was a good time. Okay.
Yeah, well, because it's gonna be so tough. Like I would have done it a little bit sooner, just to, again to try and gain some room, but everyone's really low. Like if they're all full HP, I would not say Visor here. But before you stim, I would pop that stim and then Visor, because you guarantee at least 2 kills here, most likely, on top of your Vendetta, and then any kind of follow-up you might have. See, like Arisa's half. But it's not the end of the world, because you do have Visor for retake with the Shatter. But it's not like I said, it's not a huge ult that you really need to be like concerned about like getting a big one.
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna be hard to get like a really good Visor off here. Yeah.
I think he like walks off the point. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, your Ryan's really shitting the bed, but yeah, there's not a lot you can do about that. Oh my goodness. There we go. Alrighty. Tracer's a good pick here. Let's target that Zen. Because, I mean, like, the Discord with the Orisa is just really hard for your Ryan to fight. Which, I mean, he finally, like, realized he had other characters he could play. So we love that.
Yeah, the Zarya is a good pick. He starts really well on Zarya.
If you're in this kind of situation, depending on what you're, like, willing to do, you could go certain characters to just punish the Orisa. Whether it's like Sojourn with the Discord or just gun the Orisa down. Like, as I was saying, like charge your railgun on the Orisa, but instead of looking for someone else, just keep farming the Orisa and keep railgunning her when she's off her gold. Just to make it so that your Ryan can play the game. Ooh, be careful. So in this like kind of mid-fight, like while everything's kind of going on, I'd probably just drop down and then just blink over here. Because like this is unpunishable. Like there's no one quick enough that's gonna be able to punish it.
There.
Yeah, no. Oh, this is like the kind of default you want to take on any flanker pretty much, because this route is just really hard to push, usually because most people are playing up here, but also because if anyone's like, it's just really hard to like close this gap because it's such a tight choke. So 9 times out of 10 you want to go under, and especially like as the fights break out now, like here, it's great to separate, because these people are like tunnel vision on going in and what's going on here. These people aren't really as invested. So like these people back here will be more attentive to this threat that's happening, and that will take a lot more attention off of what's going on over here, which will help your tank and your team in the long run. But also, again, you have no one to punish you for going over here. And if they try to come this way and cut you off, you can go this way. Like you have a lot of options, and then ultimately you can look for a flank here, right? And then you're in a position to go wherever you want. I mean, you're probably gonna have to wait for your teammates to reset, whatever. But when they do, you can go in and look for that Zenyatta. Or depending on how quickly they get pushed back, you know, as they start to back up, you can catch them off from this position, right? And look for this, which would be really, really good. This is kind of what we talk like an anchor point, right? So like going down here, you want to set up like essentially a position you're to recall to. So like this would be kind of an anchor point here, because this is where you're gonna start your flank from, or up here. So by being in this kind of anchor point, what we can do is we can kind of scout out our opportunities, wait if we need to, or go. And when we go, you know, we go and do our thing, and then we recall back to our anchor point where we can't be chased, right? And we can just kind of live. Because that's kind of our backline. Because you never want to recall back to your own backline as a tracer. You want to disengage to their backline.
Okay, yeah, I've been doing that wrong then. Always try to go back to...
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's completely intuitive. It's completely intuitive, right? But the reason why you don't want to do that is because the value you get on Tracer and flankers in general are resources, right? Everything's about resources. Every character has them, different amounts of them, right? Tracer's job is to take away those resources through attention and threat, usually from the supports. So by, like, let's say, like, you know, people are fighting up here, blah, blah, blah. You're back here fighting the Zenyatta. Well, Zenyatta can't discord the Zarya or whatever because he's too busy looking at you. So then you've taken that discord away from the Zarya, right? So I like to say, like, you think about Tracer, like a good Tracer is a really bad 6th teammate for the enemy team. Because what they do is they suck up all the resources and aren't doing anything with them. And are always constantly coming back for their support's resources, which especially for a tank like Orisa is a very resource greedy tank for the supports. So the more you can take away from that Orisa, the significantly easier she'll drop. So it's generally easier because it's kind of like trespassing, right? It kind of feels wrong to be in their backline in that way, but like it's much safer to like be back here because no one wants to have to go and like clear the fire station, right? No one wants to clear this. So by coming over here, you're forcing them to do something they don't want to do. And if they don't do that, then you have gained this position for free and you can punish them by using it against them, right? So instead of like staying in main, they're already fighting for main. Like you're already fighting for a position that they want to control. So by using your mobility to take a position they don't normally want to fight for or care to control, you can use that against them and force them to split the resources across more territory, more space than they normally would otherwise. And that takes a lot of the pressure off this main choke and spreads it across a lot wider of an area, especially as the fight breaks out and you can actually really come in and be like a really big threat. But the Reaper fed and you're there to peel for it, so we take those.
So we're hearing like footsteps somewhere.
Okay, more does no fade. So if you know, like anchor points, so we're recalling in the middle of the fight, which we're not being punished for, but you will. But like imagine this whole fight, and the problem is like you're also kind of doing everything. You're the one pushing them back, but it'll still happen eventually. But imagine like this fight, like if we go back a little bit, like say there-ish, and then we just like go this way. And pretend like you're like this POV is Tracer POV, right? Like maybe we're just kind of shooting, just spraying, getting a little bit of attention, distracting, making them uncomfortable. Right? And then we go in for the kill. Right? This end's dead. If we need to, we recall back, we're safe. right? And then we can back off more. We can go in more, right? I mean, we're gonna win this fight.
Because I didn't start from somewhere safer.
Yes, exactly. The more, like, the whole point of setting up in an anchor position is to afford more resources to the actual dive itself. Because the more you have to travel, and that's also why you don't want to disengage to your own backline, because you're resetting your flank every time, right? Like even if you do flank this way, right? If you start fighting someone and then start running away, then you're gonna have to retake the space that you just flanked, right? So you're using more resources, and time is also a resource, which it's against you. You're on attack, right? But by setting up in this anchor position, you're closer to the flank because you're already behind them, right? You're just farther behind them where it's not worth it for them to chase you. So you're saving more resources and are there in time when something goes down. Because if something goes down here, but you're like still kind of in main, you don't really have a whole lot of options. And you might miss out on the opportunity. Whereas if you're here waiting for that kind of opportunity, you can actually capitalize on it. If that makes sense. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm just not so used to, I guess, managing the cooldowns because they take a while to come back.
Yeah.
And I'm using like more than I should to get in and to do the
Yes, like now you're out of everything.
Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the majority of Tracer gameplay happens before you actually fight people. Because you want to do as much as you can before you actually have to fight people to take away the variables and take away the disadvantages. And give yourself as much of the advantage as possible. Especially because, that's fortunate. There's two ways to take resources away, right? You think about, like, why is dying so bad in Overwatch? When you're dead, you can't participate in the fight for the objective, right? And that means putting in resources into the objective or a key territory. So, like, if you're back here, you don't have to go for kills. Like, if you're up here, you have to kill people. Because you're already in main, you're already getting their attention by default. Just because this territory is getting attention, not you specifically. But also as Tracer, you're more liable to getting hit by random shit that wasn't meant for you. Sort of like that Zen thing, like up here, like, obviously you weren't Tracer, but like you're just liable to this more often, especially if your tank's not playing where you're playing in the main angle. But by being back here, you have the luxury of attention. So instead of going for a kill and taking the Zen out of the fight, for example, you can go for his attention. You can like be, hey, I'm here, I'm a threat, blah, blah, blah. You get him low, you recall back, you didn't kill him, but now he's worried about it. Now he's got to back off. If the more he's paying attention to you, the less he's paying attention to his team and what he normally wants to be paying attention to. So you don't have to get the kill every time. Just getting the attention. Now, the more kills you can get, great, because that's going to be the longest time overall. But like, if you have two people on you, if you have two people chasing you throughout the whole map, not participating in the fight whatsoever, that's essentially you trading your life for two people for as long as they're chasing you, right? That's a win for you. So the game is kind of a threshold of trying to greed and like be as much of like a juicy target as possible, where they are like, they take the bait for as long as possible without actually dying. Because once you die, it's justified. I mean, if you do it for long enough, it's still, you get a decent amount of value, and it's like, okay, surely my team can do something with this by now. But if you're just in this main angle, then the attention, you have to be killing people. The entire intention here is to shoot somebody to kill them, because the attention, you're not taking any attention away from a position because they're going to be shooting here either way, right?
Yeah, she kind of sucks at that from that range as well.
Yeah, because you might as well just be on Soldier or Cass or whatever. Because it's also a lot easier to blink into the back of their head and close that distance than blink into where they're firing from, or firing into. Honestly, I don't mind that. I mean, if they're tranking, you're not killing anything anyway. Yeah. I go for the Zen.
Yeah. Zen? Alright.
Yeah, so here, like, I don't care about my team because we have we're very close to capping. Zen is the easiest target to kill here anyway. I'm going for Zen because he's alone and he's in Yada. That's a free kill for me. So I'm going to go for Zen because even if 4 people are here and they kill my entire team, I kill Zen here, I cap point, doesn't matter because I set the spawn anyway. It's like, none of this matters to me. I'm going straight for Zen. Okay, we didn't need that Kitsune, but maybe we did. Yeah. So if we were there a little bit sooner, we could have killed that Zen sooner and just
Yeah,
capped.
and got the point.
Yeah. And then again, we reset to this position here, rather than going back to the backline, right? And you'd be surprised what you can get away with. Even in like the highest ranks, you can get away with like just blinking into the absolute back of their spawn, and just being in very egregious positions, as long as you're not out in the open or taking a lot of damage, like this. Yeah, so like a new anchor position we can set up is over here, right? Like it doesn't have to be anywhere like crazy, just like here, where we're safe enough. So like this is good. I like this because we can fight from here and then disengage to here, right? And then we can rotate and take this new angle, or we can come back and take this angle again, right? Whatever we need. But like we always have a place to like disengage to, and by disengaging, we're going further back behind them. So when we re-engage, it's going to be even better for us because we're re-engaging from an even steeper flank than if we were to just disengage, right? Disengage back to a further position away where we'd have to reclaim that space that we took, right?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm not too fussy about pulse bombs. I mean, target priority is generally the most important thing with pulse bombs. Like Zen, to me, is the best target to go for here every time. Because he's relatively easy to stick, and if he's got Trank, you give him a dilemma. Either burn Trank for
Use
pulse
it or
bomb.
die.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a very hard decision to make in the moment. And either way you win.
Done it if he had it.
Yeah,
But
I
he
mean,
didn't have it.
yeah, no, he didn't have it. Otherwise, yeah, it would have. But like either way you win, because you're forcing a Trank for a pulse bomb. In a situation he doesn't normally want to Trank. And a good little tip, what do you use for pulse bomb? Like, do you just use Q?
It's on Q, yeah.
So
Everything's default.
Personally, I recommend having it either on right click or shift. I use right click, and I use blink for shift, because it allows you. Because if you're using Q, you just can't strafe left while you're using it, unless you have some, wild finger dexterity.
Yeah, I had to change my melee to be one of the mouse buttons.
Yeah, so I
Because of
have crouch as my back and my melee as my front mouse button on everybody, but I have right click as pulse bomb. Other people, like I said, have
I'll
it
put
on
it on
shift.
one of my mouse buttons then.
That's
So
fine.
probably the back one.
Another good tip is think of meleeing, right? Instead of going for a pulse bomb, look for a melee. If you can land a melee on somebody, you can land a pulse bomb. Because if you just pulse bomb and melee at the same time, if you landed the melee, you're gonna land the pulse bomb.
Can I press both buttons at the same time?
Yes,
Or
that's exactly what I do.
when it-
I mean, you can
Okay.
technically animation cancel the melee, but I don't even care because I'm pulse bombing. It doesn't matter. But if I'm just really imagining meleeing, so I press a melee button and I just press right click at the same time, the pulse bomb's gonna go out and it just lands more often. Just that shift in mindset of what you're going for, it just tends to land more often. It's very rare to like have like quick tips like that, whatever. But like honestly, that is kind of a life hack in a way, because it really does like just have just a shift in mental. Okay, I was like, I don't mind either of you on card, but if he's gonna stay on card, then I want to leave.
What is something else?
Because this position's really hard on Tracer. So like, if Zen's willing to be on card, if you have to be on card, okay. But if Zen's willing to be on card, then I'm looking to get out of this position as quickly as possible and set up in a position to make them really uncomfortable as early as possible. Because now the fight's starting. Our Zarya's half HP and we're on top of cart. When we recall, we're gonna recall right here.
Right
3
there.
blinks is not gonna get us anywhere, right? So like we're in a very tough position to get any kind of value. Because we're not a threat here at all. But once we're behind, once we're behind them, then we're a threat because the potential, just knowing that you're there, is very uncomfortable. And that is what Tracer does immensely well, is making people very uncomfortable. Okay, yeah, our team just needs to die. So like this is okay for us because while they're all here, we can just they're dead. We're not winning this fight. We can use this time to get behind them. And even if we want to go all the way to their spawn, maybe spawn camp their Moira for all I care, but just get to a position because they're not going to be able to come back for us. If they do, we can just keep running away because we just are faster than everybody in the entire roster. So it's not worth it for them to chase us. And if they do chase us, they're going to be so far away from the fight. By the time our team gets back, they're not going to, they're not going to be in the fight whatsoever. Okay, well,
I
we're
guess I'm
flanking
like
this, I guess.
relying on what the team is doing.
Yeah, like Tracer is an independent character, but she doesn't do everything on her own. She does independent things in tandem with her team. So she does things with her team, just not in location, just in timing, right? You want to do what you do, and you want to execute when your team goes in, but not where they go in per se. But I mean, if we're gonna burn both Trank and,
Yeah, I
and
need to
grab,
move
then
around like independent of them, but I need to
yeah, that's why
either
being
start
behind them
to
is really
dive or
good.
whatever with them.
Yeah, exactly. So like, because if you go in, like, if you're behind everybody, that's great. But like, if there's no one to take their attention, as soon as you go in and they know that you're there, they're all gonna turn around, and it's gonna be the same thing. You're just gonna get obliterated anyway. So it's utilizing the attention that your team brings, because it's all about like the biggest threat to any given person. Any given person is only ever gonna be paying attention to whatever the biggest threat in that moment is. So you want to play with that. Your team is by default the biggest threat, and then you go in and go for a kill, you become the biggest threat, and then now they're paying attention to you, right? If you go for a triple blink on the Zen, suddenly he's gonna care a lot more about you than whatever's going on over here, you know? And then now you have his attention, you can try to keep his attention for as long as possible. Not on him, but like if you have this anchor position, for example, you know, Zen doesn't know you're there, you triple blink, whatever recall, if you kill him, great, but if not, he's paying attention to you, and you try to keep it, and like always like kind of let him know that at any moment I can go in. So he can't be lazy. He can't just forget about you. And if he does, then that's great, because then you can go in and kill him, right? Or try to at least. And then as soon as he forgets, then you go in, right? Or as soon as like, sometimes you don't even have a choice, right? Sometimes the people walking up are just too big of a threat to ignore. You just have to just ignore the Tracer. You just can't afford it. And then Tracer comes in. Like, it's a catch-22. But if you're alone, that's unfortunate. Then it's not going to matter, right? And that goes for any flanker. Oof. It's also a good habit to like blink out of the door immediately. Like if you know someone's on right or left.
Blink out the door.
Yeah, blink out. Because if someone's,
and then you can see where they are instead of.
Yeah, because also like this Zen knows where you're coming from. He's gonna be pre-firing this. Yeah. So by blinking out, you're out here, right? So then it's gonna be a lot harder for him to punish you for walking across. Or walking out, and then you'll have time to like see what you're looking at, and that's just generally a good habit. Yeah,
like, just from habit of any other FPS.
Yeah, I mean Tracer's a very unique character with that, but it's just little habits that, because especially because of the low health pool, it's very easy to get punished for things, but it's also very easy to be impossible to punish because of the mobility. You just have to apply the mobility to effectively make that so, right? So now we should be again looking for some other flank. Like if we can blink up here, so we can go over here, or we can look up. Like either we can fight the Zen, right? Look for him right here. This would be really good. Or we can go up if need be, where this Vendetta. Where are we? Oh, there we go. Where this Vendetta is, right? And then this can be an anchor point, because this is really hard to get to. So all we have to do is just drop down, and we're on somebody, right? And then we can recall it back up. So that gives us 3 whole blinks. Because like other, anchor points, you might need to blink to. You use a blink or two to get into the actual fight. But like here, like that's why verticality is so good. If you can anchor from verticality where you're just impossible to reach. Because you're impossible to get to, but you're right next to them, distance-wise. So you can just drop down. You have all of your resources. You have 3 blinks you can exhaust to fight the Zen or whatever you're fighting. And then recall back up to complete safety. And not get punished for not having any blinks, because depending on the anchor, you might have to save a certain amount of blinks. Depending on if the anchor is very dangerous and very like kind of greedy and close, you might only be able to use 1 blink in the entire fight that you're going into, and save 2 blinks for the recall to get out after recall, so you don't get punished, right? And be careful of that Discord. Honestly, like when we get up here, just hide. Just wait for the Discord to go away. Because it's also very easy to get, like, because obviously it's like wall hacks on you. I just chill here just a little bit longer until that Discord goes away. Because if he wasn't reloading, or a slightly better Zen, he might actually just obliterate you here.
Like when I drop down there.
Yeah. Which you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone too.
Because he was like really aggressive.
Yeah. I mean, he's absolutely going in, but like you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So instead of like hiding here and only being stalled out by the Discord, you can like look for a deeper flank. So you're going here and you're looking for a deeper flank whilst also cleansing yourself of that Discord. I mean, you have to be wary that Zen probably knows that you're here, but you can still play with that attention, right? Like Discord's gone, and then you can kind of peek out and see if Zen's looking at you. If he's not, then you can go for the kill. If he is, then you keep that attention, because this position while turned around as Zenyatta is not very good for him, right? So we're okay with that. Like, you can kill a lot of people by proxy just by making them pay too much attention to you. Okay, a little greedy. Yeah. So now we need to chill. Like, I'd rotate, because, like, you want to get in the habit of, like, kind of changing up the way that you're attacking every time you recall. So unless you have a really good anchor point that you can just keep coming back to, like, in this position, after you recall, like, I would just kind of want to go this way. And I'm not even necessarily using blinks. I'm just using this rotate as a way to, like, gain a new angle with the ability to wait a little bit more time to get those cooldowns back, get a couple more blinks back, get that recall timer a little bit shorter before we actually go back in, rather than just refighting this angle from a really far distance with no resources. Like, oof, that's that. Like, it's okay to wait. Like, as soon as we use recall, we're kind of useless. We don't really want to go in unless we absolutely have to. Which is also why it's more imperative to try to get more out of each recall and more out of it, the windows of time between each recall, to make it not so expensive to have to wait. Huge grav. So one thing you can look for here is when you have the Zarya, you can look for a pulse grab, right? Like a pulse bomb grab, and save your pulse bomb for it. But in this situation, like, if they have Trank, for example, and you have, like, Vendetta, then I'd be like, if people are a little bit more cohesive, obviously everyone's just kind of ulting whenever, then you could use your pulse bomb to force Trank out for your grab and Vendetta ult instead. Obviously here they don't have anything to stop either of those, so it doesn't matter, but it's important to note. Nice. And that's also how you play Tracer on defense too, right? Is the anchor points really matter, because you can't just be spamming down choke the whole time, because you're just, there's 14 other DPS characters that will just do that better. But that's what makes Tracer so good, is the ability to just get behind them and just sit in territories and spaces that they really just don't want to fight for. And she's just impossible to chase. Obviously, it's a lot harder to do that on attack of this map if you don't even know that left path exists. You know, like, I can see you're like, oh, just go left side, go left side, but you didn't know, right?
Of the time now.
Yeah, right. It's like kind of a flip switch kind of situation, but
yeah, I'm like, what the heck is this map, man?
That also goes to show how little, like, it doesn't matter to anybody but Tracer. So by you going there and it being important to you, you make it important to other people, right? You force them to care about something they normally wouldn't. So even like this little building here.
Custom game and look at the maps.
Like, can you just go into a custom game and look at the maps? Yeah, you can go to a custom game and go to a skirmish. And you'll have like 30 minutes you can just run through in the maps. Okay. I highly recommend doing that on any map.
Yeah, I think there's still some maps I just haven't played on yet.
Yeah. I mean that'll come with time, right? Like, the more you play on it, the more you'll recognize it. So like now we have 22 seconds. So like I'm honestly just we have to try to make something work. So I'm gonna go up here. Like if you don't know about this up like that left side, then I'm gonna go up here and look for something. That's because I would bet $1,000 you don't even get a tick here. Just because the position's so hard. But yeah, that's really all you can do. But if you are going up here, you want to try to do this as quickly as possible. Especially you want to. That was a greedy recall. Especially like here, like in like gold lobbies, they're all down here. But as you get like higher and higher, half the team will be playing up here, which will make this entirely impossible to push. So you should like utilize this while you can. I mean, obviously now you can utilize this and this will be much better. But sometimes, I mean, maybe that's not possible, right? Maybe that won't work for whatever reason. But like you want to get up here and use this as quickly as possible, and try to punish the fact that no one's up here. Like, why is Ana over here? Like, Ana normally in every game I ever play would be up here or rotate it down here, right? Where she's much harder to get to. So try to keep that in mind. This is good. Okay, Zarya's got points, so we're free to get off. Nice. Okay, that's me down $1,000. I can't believe that.
So you bet
Alright.
1,000? Nobody
Yeah, I said $1,000. We do not get a tech here, but I am 3,000
now.
not even
Like
thinking
under
about
the bridge or something. From here.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So like also this is like again more downtime, right? It's like Tracer, like it's all about maximizing uptime and minimizing downtime. And I don't just mean uptime as in you're shooting somebody actively. Downtime is just time where you're not doing anything. So like here you're not doing anything. Like this card's gonna push regardless. I mean obviously you don't want to get off it, but you have 2 teammates here. This is not your job. So like if you're going and you're taking time and the downtime in between fights to flank and using this time where no one's dying, there's no opportunities anyway, to look for some kind of position, whatever, right? That is how you maximize your uptime. Also, especially, again, anchor points, right? If you get into like an anchor position, then you can go in, blah, 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 whatever, you get out, and then you can stay up, right? Because again, you have the attention. If you're gaining that attention, even though you're not actually going to drop down and go for the kill here, because you don't have recall, right? You're still gaining attention. You're keeping your uptime up. Whereas normally, if you were fighting the soldier, for example, and then recalled out and then disengage, whatever, you're doing dick here. Absolutely nothing, right? So then that window of time is just filled with nothing. So it's just you're doing more throughout a larger period of time. Which the more you're doing, essentially the more you're giving them an opportunity to make a mistake. So it's just very scary for us on Tracer to sit on cart just because, again, it's such a highly contested area. It's very easy to just get hit by random shit. And especially with the biggest threat thing I was talking about earlier, the point is also a threat. And in overtime, it becomes the biggest threat 99% of the time. You'd be surprised with the shit you can get away with by just being behind here while everyone's tunnel vision on making the cart stop or go or whatever, like with overtime. You can get away with so much more and pulling so many more. People will panic because that overtime's ticking down. Ana's not even going to try to hit you. She's just going to throw a sleep dart because you're there. So you can get away with a lot more and be a lot greedier in how you flank. But you want to do it as quickly as possible because, again, time is not your ally here. Which luckily you're able to... I mean, the Zarya swap really is just doing wonders. So now we have pulse bomb. So we want to be here thinking about who do we want to pulse bomb. You don't want to change how you play for a pulse bomb. You don't want to just triple link in just because you have pulse bomb. Think of pulse bomb as an extension. So like think of it as like a guaranteed one clip if you land it, right? So you don't want to change how you're playing just because you have it. But what it allows you to do is instead of burn more resources because you have to spend the time shooting the person to try and kill them, you might have to force another blink, blah, blah, blah. You can just stick them and move on to the next person because they're like dead, right? But you should like be holding tab, look at who they have, and be like, okay, who am I going to try and stick here? Because you want to kind of pre-plan it best you can. Because again, like trying to take as many variables out, if you're just kind of reactively doing it, kind of panicking, you're almost guaranteed to whiff unless you get really lucky. I'm not mad at that. It still kills her, right? She walked right into it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're going to lose, but that's a really far push. Honestly, that's 10 times farther than you guys really should have gotten, but also Valiant stall. So we take those.
Oh yeah, does the respawn timer get longer in overtime or something?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It takes, I think it's normally like 8 seconds, and then in overtime it gets like 13 seconds. Then those numbers have changed, so I don't know off the top of my head, but I think that's right.
Okay.
But yeah, that's why it always feels like as soon as you die, it's like
and then he
forever.
said his respawn was like 17 seconds or something.
Yeah, well, there's also group respawn. So like, if you die, it's nice for some people, but it's also really annoying for others. Because with the group respawn, depending on when multiple people die, so to kind of prevent staggering, because people just have a habit of respawning and just walking out instead of like regrouping, it'll group the spawn timers together to like an average of each other's time. So if you're like 2 seconds and someone just dies, you might get pushed up to like 4 seconds to average out the time. So that on top of overtime, it can really take a long time. On Sojourn here, a nice little early thing you can do at the start of the round is just kind of like
there and then throw it.
Yeah, like I'd sit here, don't let them know that you're there, and then as soon as that timer ticks down, here E, back up, shooting, and then like just dip, and then you have like maybe 60 charge and a little bit of ult charge, right? That's not bad either. Like, that's basically the same thing, right? Ooh, scary. So yeah, our goal here is just to farm that rail on the Orisa and just look for somebody else. Once we have 100 rail, we don't really care about carrying. We don't care about shooting the Orisa anymore. We're just looking for somebody else to shoot with that rail gun. Yeah. They just kind of walked everybody down. It's also not a bad idea to, when you guys are getting backed up like this, to just back up this way, because getting out of their like, think of it as like kind of like a stampede, so to speak. They're gonna want to just kind of keep going in the direction that they want to go, like to a point. So by kind of getting out of their way, it's gonna be a lot less likely for them to go out of their way to go fight you, making it safer, right? Similarly, like with Tracer being in the back line, they don't want to fight here. They want to fight on point. So if you back up to point, they're going to just keep running you guys over. So to kind of get out of the way early, and then kind of come back in as they pass by. I mean, some people will turn and look at you, of course. Like, they're not like animals, but yeah. I mean, on Sojourn here, like, we're just gonna, like I said, it's just a matter of farming the Orisa and then just looking for something. We can, if everyone's playing down here, we can play like here. Like, this is okay to play, especially if you have the double slide perk. You can, you know, double slide and get away very, very easily. Especially in like the practice state where you only have a minute. Like on this map, it kind of changes. If you're playing overtime, you kind of play it differently than you would if you're playing it normally. Because normally this can be kind of risky to play. It's not terrible depending on the comp, but like you're just trying to squeak out as much time as possible. Because realistically, unless you guys are kind of lucky, you're gonna come down to like the wire anyway. So you want to like squeak out as much time as possible here. And build those ults up so that the last fight that you do end up taking is better. So you know the Reaper wants a TP. Nice. Try to sprinkle in a couple just normal shots, because you can shoot them at the same time. I mean, it will stop your primary fire when you shoot the railgun, but you can just railgun and then shoot immediately into your, or you can primary fire and then immediately railgun. So I'd be primary firing, especially if you have like a full clip. If I see that Reaper's TPing here, I'm gonna back up so I can only see Reaper, reload, and then wait a little bit until it's like generally he's about to pop up, and then just start gunning like primary fire. And then when I start to get hit markers, that's when I go for my railgun to get maximum damage in. Because as you can see, like there's a kind of a buffer period of after you railgun, it's the second before you can like actually shoot your primary fire.
Yeah, you can't shoot again.
Yeah, so you generally want to end with railgun. Nice. Nice. Down for an 8. Now we just... Yep. Take your time. Yeah, it's better to play live. That's fine. Oh, that's gonna be a huge E. Also, what a graph. Yeah, I mean, that Zarya pick is just doing absolute wonders. Yeah, all I would say is like when you go here for that overclock, you can just back up a bit more and then just kind of play this angle where you're a little bit safer and also it's a lot harder to look at you. And because this angle is really hard to like fight.
Yeah, and he got like a right in my face.
So like having this nice long angle where it's just either side, you just have a full crossfire. Because also again that over time it's like the last fight, they can't afford to look at you. And worst case scenario, if someone's starting to come up behind you, you can just hold them off with overclock instead and keep them away. Just to make it a little bit easier. But like, well played. Also again, that's already made a huge difference. Nice. Yeah. I can't believe you guys squeezed that one out. Already? You have another
Let me find one. Probably with Genji.
Perfect.
I wish there was a way you could share replay like after seeing the report.
I
wish you could like share replay after looking at the report.
You can just go to replays instead. No? Or are you just going through the report to see which one you played Genji on or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh.
Does it show in?
No.
No, it doesn't. This one was. I'm gonna try to memorize the time.
I think you can pin game reports, no? Maybe not. Nope.
Maybe pin and then.
Yeah, you
Alright,
can.
got it.
You got it. Okay.
This one I was doing with the Bastion.
Ooh, okay. Bastion's really freaking annoying right now. I don't know why they buffed him. Ooh, Hollywood, okay. We can, on pretty much any character, look for just early damage. Just as they walk out, just look for something. Just shoot a couple bullets, whatever. Like it doesn't hurt. Unless you like absolutely need to be high ground and you don't have like any mobility. Like if you're playing Cass and you for whatever reason want to play on this high ground, then like obviously if you go down you can't really get it. But it's good to get ult charge, especially on Genji. Especially if you have a ball going in too. Like main thing here with the ball is you're gonna be paying attention to where he's going and trying to be ready for a slam and be there when his slam goes down, so that way you can go through and dash and get the cleave on everybody that gets slammed, because it'll be a lot easier to get kills when everyone's focusing on the ball. See, but when it's just ball, like he's just gonna be forced out and then die. Especially he's not gonna be a very good ball, but you can still utilize that distraction. So like similar thing like on Tracer, is we want to be behind him here. Like we're already kind of at a loss by being in front of this Orisa. So like here we should just kind of kite this way and look for something this way. It's gonna be really hard, but just we want to get behind them as quickly as possible. Especially like as that ball goes in, even like here would be a great time to just like squeak up here if we can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just get behind that Orisa. You really want to get around that Orisa as quickly as possible.
What about that building across? Like
This
instead
one?
of peeking out like main, just going up there
Yeah, this is also
at
good.
the start of the match.
Especially if you have a ball that's gonna go in, then this is a perfect situation, because if he slams like here, then boom, we go in. You can like disengage to here, whatever, or even be up here, right? Just hide here. Like this is perfectly fine as long as you can get out, and you don't like greed it too much. And that like principle of like those anchor points are gonna matter, especially with Genji, because you have less resources, right? Because the major thing with the anchor point is allowing your resources to come back and give you an opportunity or a position that will let you fight people and flank people with the most resources, so you don't have to burn them just getting there. So Genji, you only have dash or deflect. Most of the time, you're only ever going to be able to use one or the other to get in and get out, right? So by being in a certain position, like here, you can get in with dash, but then all you have left is deflect. So you can only kill them with just your primary fire or your alt fire or whatever, and then deflect out, right? Like that's it. Or you can like from up here deflect in, and then fight them, and then dash out. But the thing with dash is if you can get that kill, then you get the dash back. So there is a caveat where if you are confident, and I mean very confident, that dash as you engage will lead to a kill, then that will give you another dash that you can use to get out. So in that instance, you can dash in, get that kill, you get the dash reset. Now you have deflect that you can use in the fight, and then dash out, right? Or like if they're low, the deflect ends, then you can get the dash for the kill, and then you get another dash. You know what I mean? So it's all about like making sure that you don't burn both cooldowns instantly, because it's very easy to just sink like a rock. Like you're just an anchor in the ocean as soon as you run out of those cooldowns.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we deflect in.
Barely ever go for like E in and then dash out.
Well, it just depends on the position and who you're fighting ultimately, right? And that's the other thing is like if you're up here, then you don't have to use anything to go in, because if they don't know that you're there, you can just drop on top of them. You have both cooldowns, so you take away that engagement necessity that you would normally need to dash in or deflect in or whatever. Now you don't need to. You're just on them, right? And then that leaves both cooldowns to use. Especially they can be multi-purpose, right? Like as you're deflecting out, you're still hitting them back if they're shooting you, right? Same thing is like if you're on top of them and you need to get out, you dash through them to get out, right? So you're still damaging them with dash, which is why it's also as much as you can very imperative to make sure that that dash secures the kill, because then it gives you another dash on top of that, if you can help it. So that's like the main like fundamental of Genji, is trying to, especially using those that passive mobility, right? That vertical mobility that no one else has, apart from flyers or whatever, but flanker wise, to save the cooldowns for when we're actually fighting. Nice. It's like now we don't have, we dash in, we don't have deflect, so we're dead. We sink as a rock, right? Like if we're here, if we have deflect, we can back off. I mean, obviously, like this situation is lost. We're dead anyway. But like in a fundamental kind of fashion, like we can back off with deflect here and kite around and get this
I don't
mega.
think I was paying attention to who was alive on my team or like coming back, so I just went there to try to.
Yeah. I mean, do what you can. It's also important to keep note of like health bars. Like this is somewhat of a nitpick, but it's actually very important in the long run. Is like this Ashe here, you can kill with dash. Like we should go for we don't want to burn, like we have the element of surprise here. This is something that like we don't get very often. We have a good flank here. They don't know we're here at all. So we don't want to burn that by shooting someone that we're not going to do much damage to, because he's getting healed by both supports and he's got his own heal pad and he's far away, right? So like this Ashe here, we see Ashe, okay, we scout this opportunity, now we go on Ashe. You know, triple headshot, whatever, like we can get on this very easy. We can walk right up to her and just shotgun her in the back of the head, right? Like execute her and then look for something else. Like we have a lot more here. But also you get this Ashe low enough, like here we can dash and kill her. We don't need to right click her. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, this is very nitpicky, but in circumstances, it's nice. Like if you're here and you have dash, you don't want to right click. You want to dash, because then you're here, you're engaging with dash and getting a dash reset. So then now you're engaging with dash on top of having another dash off rip, right? Versus killing her and then dashing and then you don't have dash, right? Or having to just walk up or whatever. So that really, like that tiny little thing really, really helps with the chain ability. Like Genji's all about the chaining. Yeah.
But in this game, I think it's like too much in my head that I have just one dash.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, like, you don't have one dash. You have as many dashes as people you can kill, right? So like that's the hard part. That's where the real skill comes into, is being able to chain and get that dash back. And a lot of the niche and like technical and like especially like the flashier bits of Genji come within that window of time where you engage and trying to get as much value as you can without having to burn resources. It's all about like, you know, dashing and getting that perfect combo, that, you know, like perfect spacing, you know, 3 shurikens. Obviously all of that stuff doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, if you can do that, great. But like if you just have good fundamentals of timing, like here, like that's where we want to go in. Like we're playing too far away. We might as well be Cass or Ashe or whatever. We should be up here, like close, ready to go in. Because like if we're Genji here, like this is what I'm talking about. Bang, dash, right? Like that's what we want. It's like all like 3 people came in at, you know, different times. Like if we do that all at once, that's heavenly. And you can cancel deflect. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I just wanted to like unpeak before I let go.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should have then, but it just came, like it popped in my head. It's very easy to take for granted those tiny things, because he didn't also used to be able to do that for the longest time. Especially if you're used to rivals. Yeah.
Like double tap it or whatever.
Yeah, it's like that's another combo thing, right? Is like if you can get those 180s down, then like here, bang, you go through, and then you can 180 and you secure that pick, you get your dash back, and then you can get out, right?
Yeah,
So like
actually
obviously,
double my sense like between this match and
yeah,
the to actually be able to do that because before it was like 1.25 or something.
what
like way too
DPI?
low. 1600.
That is pretty low. But I mean, Trink's out, so we have a free blade basically here. You can wait for beat and go for like a beat blade so that when you get baited, you're kind of invincible. But I don't, yes, I don't think we need it. Okay, careful. Yeah, I don't mind you fighting him with blade here. The way that you did it is tough. Like in this situation, it's hard to go for that because you want your dash to help you. Like the dash hitting him is kind of imperative because what it allows you to do is get a swing off before you have to deflect. But by dashing in and not being in, you have to burn deflect early, which means you have 2 full slashes where you're just free target, right? But you want to have the dash hit, which allows you to slash once and then deflect. So all you need to do is just swing one more time, and you're using that deflect as a window of time to reset your swing. Or even if you swung there instead of, if you just swung and then immediately deflected, maybe. But you still win it. I'll take those. And he burned visor.
Is there a way to get like a tiny bit more range on the dash? Maybe like a jump forward or something?
I mean, mostly there are ways to shorten your dash. I mean, the main thing is not clipping. Going in the air, sometimes if you accidentally clip the ground. But no, there's no momentum. You're locked into that dash animation no matter how fast or slow you are. Same thing with Tracer Blank. I mean, you can like jump and blank or like jump and dash, but it doesn't like make a ginormous amount of difference. I like that discipline. Keep in mind, when you're behind him like this, we can like chill. When you realize, okay, Ashe doesn't know I just dropped down on top of her, you can take a second to just stand still and just go for a right click. Instead of like having to like strafe and like get close. Like this is a very hard thing to hit and like land, even though she's not looking at you. So like as we get like the better mechanics there, like you will secure like 2 kills there guaranteed. And even honestly, you hit that guy with the Helix Striker, you might have been able to get that kill. But you turned it like you were so in the mindset of getting out. Well, even he's low. If you dash it, yeah, either of these guys are dead if you dash into them. But I don't hate that you got out. It's just the awareness of the health bar. It's like when we see people like with these like low health bars, like this is prime time. This is juicy. We want to dash in. Like that's where we really want to dash in. Like he's kind of like that assassin character. Like the more you can kill people at like a higher health threshold, the better. But like you really want to see like, oh, there's a Zen here that's 1 HP. I'm salivating here. I want to dash into this guy and kill him because there's nothing that these 2 people can do to stop me from killing him because I'm going to get that dash reset and I'm going to get out anyway. Now, if he's full HP, that's riskier because the time it takes for me to actually execute the kill, I might get punished for and I might not even get my dash reset in time. But like this is a guaranteed. You hit a dash and a melee and he's dead, right? Or like you shoot a shuriken and dash and chase your shurikens with dash. There's shurikens land and immediately follow up with dash. So he's dead, right? And then you can use your dash to get out. Yeah, and then we go into that, I think. With Ashe here, same thing with like Widow. Like these scoped in characters are very easy to hit if they're not looking at you. Like here, we see that she's not looking. I'm gonna stand still and I'm just going to line up just a headshot and then just triple. And then I know that the ball's coming too, so I don't feel any threat here because even if Ashe is looking at me, I'm distracting her for ball, and then we're gonna kill him. That Ashe is gonna die. It's guaranteed at least 1 headshot, but most likely you'll hit 2 or 3, if not more, if you hit another. Like depending on how long it takes for this Ashe to react to getting hit. That's a great way. And then yeah, we just on cooldowns. That's a great way to again like do as much damage and like get them in that low state where you don't have to do all the damage on top of them, you know. I will say, like, I don't like with this perk, by the way, this Dragon Blade perk. It's not bad, but especially like if you have those, like if you're going in like this, that if you get a quick melee, that's 3 seconds off your dash, right? So like that's even less like a preciseness that you need. You can be even sloppier because that's a 3-second window of time that can be remedied by just meleeing somebody, which can also allow you to be more aggressive in situations where you normally wouldn't be.
I'll try the other perk more then. I just picked that one because I watched the YouTube video and the guy said survive as long as you can.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad perk. It also depends. Like if you have Nano Blade, that lifesteal is not going to make a difference, right? Like that lifesteal is not going to be the difference. Same thing if you have Beat Blade, it's not going to be the difference. And also you have to be wary. And this is not a general rule. It depends on the ultimate. But the problem with like the con of having an ultimate perk is that perk does nothing for you for the entire game except for those 6 seconds that you're ulting. Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Which like overclock, like that ult. Having that 50 extra charge, that's really good, right? Like that's okay, right? To go for that perk. And like I said, this perk's not terrible, especially if you're like dry blading, but you're also going into trank. So unless like the Zen is like really terrible at holding trank for you, you're willingly in this situation, you know that you're not going to get a blade off because he's just going to press Q and that blade's dead. So the deal is I'm going to press Q and then Zen's going to press Q. And then we're both going to be down ults and do nothing with it. That's just the deal. Is I press Q and I trade my blade willingly for their trank. Because you're kind of in a stalemate where the Zen can't not trank your blade. But also, if he tranks your blade, your blade's useless. And so it's kind of useless. It's kind of like you both are kind of nullifying each other. So this perk is also extra nullifying that ult on top of that. Because you don't actually need to go in to bait that out, right? We could actually go in, like, this is like a situation like with going in on deflect, like engagement on deflect. On that Zenyatta, like, we can drop here and then, like, go for this by just, like, walking into the Zen with, I mean, obviously fastness, but, like, barrel stuffing the Zen, closing the distance where he can't shoot you because you're deflecting in his face. And any damage that he does will be dealt back to him and make it even easier. If you can go for him here. That is kind of unlucky. That was a good job. Especially like with those perks too, is like with these characters that it's like a cooldown based perk, it's just gonna be used so actively, so constantly, that a lot of the times I personally find a lot more value in having that perk.
Mm-hmm.
We can play like up top here now. Like I would go up here and like just look up here because like they don't really have a whole lot that can like punish us. Like no one can really chase us here except for like Ashe can coach gun up here, you know, like that. And then that's okay with I'm more than happy to fight an Ashe up here, right? And then just be really annoying and then just wait for Ball to do something. Like Ball's not gonna do really anything, but he's gonna take a lot of attention and slam once eventually. And when he does, that's when I'm down to go in, right? It's like, see, like now, like we're getting distracted by Larry, and our Ball goes in, and he gets forced out. And now we're ready to go in, but our Ball's, see, he's getting forced out. And we can even go in early to force things out, right? Like if we're like up here and like Ball's having a hard time, like, oh, he forced coach gun, I can like get a very easy drill, like 3 headshots on this Ashe, dash in melee, and then dash out, and she's dead. You know, stuff like that. Like, you see, like, okay, coaching's gone, or X cooldown is gone. You know, they use Javelin, blah, blah, blah. Like, this Ball's not really getting much, but he's forcing cooldowns out. So, like, these are cooldowns that they don't have to fight you if you decide to go in. But we're just kind of poking. And we want to pay, like, if they have the Trank, we want to pop Blade sooner rather than later. Just to get that Trank out as soon as possible. Oof. Okay, that Zen is terrible. I can't believe you got 2 out of that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just unlucky timing on that soldier. For that soldier, rather.
Yeah. And then the Ashe was like too far.
Yeah. I mean, we take those. I'm not mad at that.
Oh.
So now, like, with that Ashe on that right side, I want to go this way and flank that Ashe. Because we don't want to fight her from the front. We want to fight her from, like, the side or the back. Especially, like, again, the scoping character, very easy to hit when she's not looking at you. And then you pull that attention away. I think that's like the disengaging back to like our team. Like by disengaging back here, we're going back to the front line, and then we're not like we're participating in quotation marks, but like we're not doing any feasible damage here because like a reset, like we're almost never gaining as Genji when we're shooting the tank. But like if like here in this situation,
back there,
yeah, like
a couple of them are low.
Yeah, when you grab this health pack, I mean you can if like depending on where they are, like hide here and chill maybe, but like you could like go back, you know, if possible, and like regroup to here. Or you can like try to like just go up here instead. You know, like look for like instead of like just backing up, like try to even if you just sit here, like if you can chill, you know, in a position where they can't really fully like push you, because obviously you got burned, right? So you get the health pack, whatever. Or like you could have also just gotten this health pack if you just walk out, grab this health pack when you got burned, and then just chill here. I hit that every time. Then you can re-engage from the back. Like here, like ball's going in again, like we're like kind of cosmetic. It's just really hard. We're chipping that time down though. They're gonna try, yeah. Oh my god, nobody's gonna football. What is that? This Zen is so bad. Okay. So there's the things that we'll take, but like that's not something I can like coach around, you know what I mean? That's just gonna happen. And then eventually it'll stop happening. So like in theory, like you could get a lot more value like with your blade through the trank than you should.
Because eventually nobody should die from that.
Yeah, eventually that Zen will be
like,
what is that? like this is a very like egregious example, but like this is like what plateauing is, right? Is like things like this. These are things that like you get away with. And I said like you get it like here, like this wasn't you making a mistake, that was just Zen, like you being able to punish the mistake that Zen made. But like the plateau is like mistakes not happening anymore, but they're gonna be more subtle. Like we dash here, we should just dash as soon as possible. That's also why like I like the other perk from the like this deflect perk isn't bad either, like if you're not getting healed, but like that 25 health makes a difference.
Yeah,
like
him.
Yeah, that would have, yeah, he would have died. Again, like that melee, so you're getting dashed up more often and it's more deadly. And instead of like deflecting and getting some healing while you're deflecting, if you can just more often secure that deflect or that dash reset, you can just get out and not take that damage at all, right? Like, yeah, healing is great, but not taking damage is better, right? If you can help it. So like I said, like it's not like these perks aren't bad. I'm not saying you should never ever pick these perks. Like it's personal preference. It depends on the playstyle. It's like with the blade, like it depends on the comp as well. Like these things aren't just like black and white. So I don't want to like fully like deteriorate you from or deter you rather from picking them, but it's something to keep in mind. Because perks don't always make the biggest difference, but like like flankers in general, like especially like Genji, like the perks are a big bonus for Genji. Okay, and it's also nice to like think of like kind of where we want to go, like look for kind of an idea of like our pathing, like what route do we want to take? Do we want to like when we go in, do we want to like go like left side, you know, up or like down? Do we want to like, you know, cut through security, like maybe deflect in and then like take this flank route, like kind of have an idea in mind. I mean, things will happen. Like you might want to go here, but like there's just like a torb here or something. You're just not able to take that. Like, you know, it happens, but it's a good idea. So you're not to get out of that like autopilot like sense of just shooting shurikens down choke for half the round. Okay, well now we're Sojourn so that we can do exactly that. We can just shoot our bullets down the choke. Yeah, it's the little bit of that greed. We really want to make sure we wait for that tank. Just a little bit longer for that tank to get out of the way. Not good. That was a good javelin though. We can also cut through this way and go and look for something like here. If it's like harder to break through this. That sounds feeding. Yeah. I look for something on the ash here. That's perfect. Beautiful. That's unfortunate. Oh, this is really unfortunate.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a big television. That's fine. Hey, it happens. It happens. Nice. Okay, the ash is behind us. Ooh. Did she just bob that? That's a
Yeah, she bobbed my forehead.
That is a crazy bob, actually.
I had no idea where she was.
What is this bob? What is that bob? I just try to push it like it's gonna make it any better. That is a crazy bob. Yeah, like this exact fight that we're doing. Like I want to look for an E here. Like this is what our E's for, is to like secure that pick behind that pillar. Yep, just like that. See, if you'd done that first time in the Ash, you know. But that's exactly what I want here. Is like if anyone's on the high ground, just clear it exactly the way that you did. And then I would prefer to slide up here now, but that's okay. Try not to get too greedy with the tank. You know, make sure you're not walking out. There is a pylon up to the right as well. No way he jumps down there. It is a good habit to get into. Like if like it you know, also depends on awareness, right? But like if someone's like on top of you, just look down and press E and just fight in your field. You don't have it here, obviously, but it's good to keep in mind. Oh, it's unfortunate, didn't I?
I misjudged a lot, like how far that goes as well.
Yeah, it can be kind of awkward to space. Okay, like, huge feed from the Ash. Just unfortunate timing. Okay, not the greatest res. So like this is the problem, is now Ram's going in, you're down Sojourn Mercy, right? Like it's just, you don't want that. I mean, obviously you can't do jack all about it, but. So like here, like because of now the threat's kind of all here, I'm kind of inclined, like we fight this high ground, blah, 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 just to kind of cut more left. If we can, like if the high ground's clear, like jump up on the high ground. But like as all of everyone's here, like I want to back up a bit more. If like Arisa's here, then I'd like want to cut more here and look for this off angle while Arisa's not here. She's like up here. And look for something just again, like all about like bypassing that tank, right? Like we can farm off Arisa really easily. You know, like we can come up here, like if we're like obviously, you know, Lars not here, we can farm off the Arisa, put it up, whatever, and then we look for a rail. Like this Zen's dead. Like boom, boom, boom. We have E dead, right? He's just gone. And there's also a good overclock position. Also, like security, like this is security, like this is a good overclock position as well, right? As long as Arisa's not in your face. It's just like this is a more like if everyone's on point, like if your Ram's like here and like Arisa's like here, kind of like that's more where you'd want to do this. Threading the needle. Okay, this is a very greedy. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't mind overclocking this just to make sure that Arisa dies. Oh, too late. Okay. Okay, Moira's alive here. The main. Oh. Okay. I don't hate this. I don't hate this. We have the Cole. I would have like if. I would have preferred that Moira had waited to Cole a little bit longer for our teammates to get back sooner before we do this. But as soon as she calls, I'm down for the overclock. This
yeah, that's why I did it. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, that's perfect.
Doing this.
And you just have to all in at that point. And then I'm hiding. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's okay. We did what we needed. We did our job. And now we sort of pray that our teammates are going to do theirs.
I think we lose off this.
Which, it looks like they are not going to do theirs. That's unfortunate. I figure they're just going to die as soon as you get back. Yeah, it's just too many ults. That's why I would have preferred it been you just wait a little bit longer. Because then you have more resources, and then your overclock can kind of chain into more people rather than getting LOS by that barrier. All right, you have another one?
Another one to do? Let me check.
If not, that's fine. It's like 3's the max, but like you don't have to do all 3, you know. I figure you get your money's worth.
If you're down with it, what I would rather do is maybe like another 8 minutes, a few like quick like mechanics it or something, and then we take up a 30-minute like another day because I want to practice some of this stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, you're down with that? All right.
Yeah.
I guess more with Tracer, I want to know on maps where they're like high ground, like Numbani or
sure.
What's another one? Kind of like that, where there's
like
maybe
Dorado.
like an ash high ground. I don't know how to like engage with that.
So yeah, sure. So like let's say Numbani, for example, right? And I assume you're meaning on attack, right? You're playing Tracer attack.
Yeah.
So like for example, if you want to like play a map just by yourself, skirmish is right here. And then you can go to maps and then pick whatever map you want. So we're looking for say Numbani. So let's do it all none. And Numbani. So I'll load up Numbani. I think I'll be on defense, but that's okay. I should have put the cooldowns on infinite, but that's okay. So like Numbani, like that's also like where Genji shines. Is like he's a lot more adept at like immediately like taking control of that high ground off
there. And...
Yeah, exactly. Like if Ana's or like, the Ashe is up here, like it's a lot easier for Genji just to deal with that Ashe. I know like you say like you have problem like Echo and like Pharah characters that are like really hard to duel on Tracer, or even Genji, but you have to remember like that's not your job either. Like that's like your greatest benefit is you don't have to care about the Ashe on this high ground right now. So but if we wanted to engage like an Ashe that's like up there, then like what we could do is like we could go through there, but more realistically we could go over here, walk over here, and then try to take this over here. Like take this route. Like I mean it depends, like we might have to fight things, it might not be easy.
Right.
But like if this is highly contested, we're being chased, we can always just run away and then wait till we like the heat dies down and we can just kind of chill here. And then when they like have to move on, then we can come back and then look for this. Like this is how we challenge this Ashe, right? Like if Ashe is here, we blink in, brrr, she's dead, right? Or we come in here, she's dead, and then we recall back to a safer position where I'm, you know, obviously I'm doing it faster, but like I'd be down here, right? I'd be safer. And then I can like blink away and then come down here, whatever. Like this room will be our anchor point as Tracer on attack. It's just a matter of getting here. So then if people are up here, we can fight people up here like this, or we can just try to get attention, you know? It's also another common thing you'll see, maybe not like your rank, but as you get a little bit better, like in Platinum, you'll see a lot of Anas playing here. A lot of Anas like this line of sight. This is a great flank to just walk up and then just gun her down, force a nade, maybe come back, whatever. Like this is generally how you want to fight this on Tracer. And like I said, like second point, like if you have Ashe up there or whatever, then you can just like if you're coming over here, like you can go right side, right, and then you come over here.
Should I bother crouch walking up, or should I just go?
Depends on whether or not they see you. Like if they know that you're there, if they have any reason to know that you're there other than sound, then no. But if they haven't seen you, like here, like if you're like blinking, if like Ashe is like shooting this way and I blink over here, this is dumb. Like she knows I'm here. She can hear, she can see the blinks. Like this, like she knows I'm here. But like you know, you can sit here, gather your blinks, and then you come through here, right? You don't have to blink when I'm blinking per se, but like it just depends. Like this could be a contested area. Like if Ashe knows that you're here and is holding this, then like this could be a contested area that you might need to blink out of quickly. If Ashe doesn't know that you're here, for example, then this could be something that you could crouch walk or maybe just walk. And then from here you can crouch walk because like she knows that you're here, but she doesn't know when you'll be here, right? You could just sit here forever and then wait to see if she's still shooting. If you hear it, boom, boom, you know she's still shooting. She like, even if she knows that you're there, she doesn't know that you're right here or is shooting down and you have the ability to like come on her while she's not able to, like, she's not holding your flank, right? She's shooting. Now, like, I mean, it could be like ultimate line games and she's like, you know, faking it, but like that's highly unlikely, right? And then, like if there's an Ashe up here, then like as like say like payloads here or so, right? Then you come down this route. Like this is where it gets like really hard to fight, and like it also depends like here, but like you could take this room here and then just kind of sit in this room. It might be kind of hard to challenge the Ashe, but like you could challenge her this way or you can just kind of be here. You could also go this way, this left side. So like go over here. You can go through here. You could also like get up around this way, like so. And then you can challenge it. It's just like this is one where I'd want to crouch, if like, or like be careful. Like I really, and you don't want to crouch. Like this is not something you want to do in Tracer. What you want to do is like this, because like this is super silent, but it's much faster. Yeah. So like this is where I'd be doing that, right? Is I'd want to be getting up here. If I'm not mistaken, you can get up here like this. Yeah. So then you can get up here and fight her this way, or you can go this way and then
just go up the other way.
Yeah. So it's just about like just getting out behind, like just you don't have to deal with them as they are right now, right? Like it's not about like, oh, Ashe is up here and I'm right here right now, so I need to fight her and engage her like this, right? It's okay to like take a second, pause, look for a better position. You can even go around this way, blah blah blah, right? Like look for like a setup anchor position, get around, because you have the mobility to circumvent that Ashe. That Ashe is not preventing you from getting here, for example, right? So then you can use that to pressure the Ashe. You know, same thing like with Dorado, for example, right? Like Dorado is a hard Tracer map because she's not able to fight a lot of the points because she doesn't have the verticality. So like most of second point Dorado, you're the one on bot as Tracer, where you'll usually have like a Genji that will be the one fighting people, or hit scanner or whatever. But like say like first point, let me just swap the signs, because I'm not walking that way. This is kind of a hard map for a lot of characters in general to fight, just because it's such insane high grounds and they're really hard to access. So there are two ways to fight like an Ashe. It's like either on this high ground or up here on the left. The most common one you'll see is a lot of Tracers will just, or a lot of flankers.
I found out today you can go through there.
Yeah, so like this used to be a slightly different, but yeah, this flank route's very common. You come down here, blah, blah, blah. This is one that most people are expecting. This one's also a lot harder to fight as Tracer, because not only is it so expected, but also it's very like risky, and also a lot of people are here. It's very rare that it's just Ashe up here, but it's just like very still heavy high grounds, and it's a lot of distance you have to close while you're still exposed. But a lot of my rollouts, no matter who I'm playing, usually on DPS, like I'll do this on Cass even, is I'll start this door and I'll walk up this way. I'll try to like just jump over here just to be a little bit sneakier, and then I just come up this way. And then this way I can, from here, if people are up here, I can fight them from here, especially if I have like a dive tank, we can dive them together. And then if I need to, I can dip down this way and try to get a straggler, or I can flank from that position.
There's a door over there.
Yeah, or you can go this way. But I do like this way more. I like doing this and then flanking Ashe from this position here, right? Like this one's a lot easier to fight and take this high ground than from like down here while they know that you're there. Like this is so much harder to fight. It's like that's how I take that here. And like I said, like here, like it's really hard to play Tracer on this area. She's still really good, but like a lot of times you just have Tracer on cart, where everyone else will push up this way, because like this is just impossible to fight as Tracer. This way is also next to impossible if you're getting punished by any means, because it's just so open. You could go down, like you could go this way and then just go down this way, right? And if you need a blink, if they're shooting at you, whatever, and then just get in their spawn, and then now you're here, you can go that like this way to like flank the staircase. Another thing you do is go through a vault, which is connected to here. It's like here. I can't go in there right now because it's a spawn, but by this point in the map, this won't be a spawn where you'll be able to go in here. But it's still like not an amazing flank, because no matter which way you go, whether it's through here or through spawn or through vault, whatever, it all culminates to this flank right here, which isn't terrible, but it just depends on where they are. Like if there's an Ana that like wants to play here, then this is great. But like if they have like their whole team comps right here, it's like you're not able to do a whole lot as Tracer unless you like have a pulse bomb or something. But like it's just more so for attention. So like it's just kind of hard to like get a whole lot of value compared to a lot of other DPS. So a lot of times you're just the one pushing a bot, and then the value that you have is that since you're pushing cart rather, the other support's up, you know, fighting with the rest of the team. I hope that makes sense, right? Like just try to just ignore the Ashe where she is at the moment and look for a flank route to set up behind her, and then fight the Ashes from behind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, that's the great thing about Tracers. Like, they can be really hard to get to, these positions, but like Tracer can. There's no better character to try to get this positions than Tracer. So you just abuse that movement to just get behind them. And stealth isn't 100% necessary. It's not burned just because you got noticed. Because just even if they saw that you went this way and know that you're in a vault or whatever, like them having to turn around every second they turn around and they're worried about you is a second that you're taking off of the main choke, right? And just keeping this kind of attention. And if someone dies, like let's say like a Zen or Ana dies from someone else, you can use that as an opportunity to just spawn camp them. Because like you don't have a whole lot of other options. It's a lot better for you to sit here and just null each other out because you win that because it's like a support or whatever, or even another DPS than like just playing for attention. Like you have a lot of options still, even though it's a very like strangled position to kind of be in, if that makes sense. You have any questions?
No, that made a lot of sense. Because then it puts you like in the perfect spot where you either double down on spawn camping them or you take like a long way to walk back and you have off angles there as well.
Yep. Especially like with a newer Dorado, it's a lot easier to kind of get around. It used to be a lot harder without like the staircase. Like even now, like this elevator here, like this is an option. I'm not personally like recommending it, but you never know. There are circumstances where like going here and going for this elevator, like if there's no one on this side, you could like blink over here and just take this, and that's much quicker than walking all the way down. You know, like so there are options, right? But obviously it does like they know that you are going here, right? Like if you go this longer route, there's a higher possibility that they won't know. But there's trade-offs to everything. But yeah, I mean, just using that, like I said, just use that mobility to get in like egregious positions where they just don't want to fight you. And then that's, you know, you utilize that lack of like ability to afford the attention, right? Like Ashe just does not want to care about you. Like if she's up here, she does not want to have to turn off her angle to like turn and look. So even if you're not really a threat, like you punish her either way, because if she doesn't care, then you can just walk up and be a threat, right? The more she doesn't care, the more space you can take without her contesting you, right? And the more she does care, the less time she's spending putting resources and pressure onto this very, very hard to push choke. So it's just utilizing that mobility to just like blaze through any defenses and any like LOSs and close distance to spots where you just aren't worth chasing, and then kind of let the heat die down. You play like GTA, for example. You got the cops on you. You hide in like a tunnel or something. So you like they know that you're kind of in the tunnel, but like it's kind of hard to get to you. They can't, you know. So like the heat dies down, and then you're free to like go and utilize that new position. Even if they did, like even if you were spotted, right? Obviously, best case scenario, they don't know you're there at all. You have the highest amount of reaction time it takes, right? Because the more they know about you, the faster they're going to react to you because they're expecting it to a certain degree or anticipating it. But if they don't know that you're there at all, then you know it's basically free. But yeah. Anything else?
No.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I think over time they like kind of forget because they have so much other stuff to deal with. Like,
yeah, especially like tunnel vision
progress.
is a hell of a drug. Like especially like in like gold, like people will not even notice you when they should have noticed you, right? Like let alone forget you. They didn't even know you were there at all, because it's like people are like the path of least resistance. Like they will just, it's very hard for them to go out of their way from doing what they want to do. So what Tracer does best is make them uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable you are, the more prone you are to making mistakes. And so what she does is just gives you a bunch of dilemmas that you lose on either way. And so it just makes it so that you get punished for not doing what you want to do, and makes it really hard to do what you want to do. And the main point of that is by just taking those resources away from the contested area that everyone's trying to fight for and drawing them to an area that has no bearing on the actual fight itself. But you're making these useless spaces worth something. Like it's like phony value, because you punish them for not using it or like fighting for it. But also they're punished for fighting for it, because in another universe they're not fighting a Tracer here. They can just keep firing down on your team, right? So yeah, that's like the fundamentals, and that's any flanker. Tracer does it the best, but any real flanker, and like dive and flankers are two different things. Like Reaper is a flanker. He's not really a dive character, you know. And that role can kind of shift. Like you can be a tracer that flanks more versus diving. Like diving can be for like head on, right? Like if you're playing Genji and you have a Winston, like you can dive like head on, right? Like Winston jumps up, you dash up there, you're diving them, but you're not behind them, right? You're not flanking them, right? So you can kind of play with that threshold of like focusing more on flanking or playing more like with your team and diving, and because that's what having a like with a ball, for example, like pile driving, even they're not very good. What that allows you is the ability to fight them head on, because if you're
Yeah.
Genji and he pile drives down or Winston jumps on them, that tank is going to take more of that attention that would normally be on you if you went in head first. But since it's on that Winston, it allows you to go in head first. And it also allows that Winston to go in head first because you're going to bounce off each other very well, right? And that doesn't even necessarily have to be a dive tank, but it's the same principle regardless. Whether it is a dive tank and you're diving together, or if it's a Reinhardt walking up the choke being a threat, like it's the same principle. You're using your tank's presence and attention that they naturally grab to slip into areas and punish people, and especially like pull the enemy team apart from like the middle, right? So you have the front line focused on the front line, and then the back line focused on like the flank behind them, right? Because to the front line, this Reinhardt is the biggest threat. Like it's a big problem. I can't turn and worry about this tracer, blah blah blah, right? Whereas this back line's like, yeah, Ryan's kind of far away. I'm not really too worried about him, but this tracer's like on my ass. I'm worried about this tracer, right? So you're splitting the goals apart. This Ana that might be here, her goal is to get rid of you. This Reinhardt or whatever, his goal is to stop the Reinhardt. Whereas if you're not here, no one's flanking. Everyone's just like, I want to keep this Reinhardt as far back as possible, and they're more unified, and all their cooldowns go in that independent unification. They're not coordinated. They just all have an independent goal. You think about like synchronized swimmers. They don't all learn in synchronization. They just learn their dance individually and do it to a T at the same time, right? So it's all about that individuality at the same time. So by throwing a wrench in those plans, you really, really catch people off guard, and they will make so many mistakes. And on top of that, people are already making so many mistakes. Like that Zen on Midtown, it was just hard feeding a lot of the times. You can really punish that on Tracer with that mobility. Especially if you set up in a good position, you don't even have to force them to make mistakes. They're already making mistakes to a certain degree. Obviously, less and less the higher you get. But with that mobility and with a better position, you'll see those opportunities and be able to capitalize and punish them properly. Because a lot of times you were getting like a kill. It's like even on that last game on Hollywood, you were getting kills like I forget who it was, but someone died like in main, but you died for it. Right, like you traded for it, and then like your ram had died, but like if you could have gotten that kill and stayed alive, right, then you could have like swung with that momentum. But by trading for that and like just barely squeaking out that punish, that is what like is holding that back. But being able to just be solid and just hard punish those people, you'll get to platinum easily, and then that's it'll get really hard to like find those actual mistakes to punish, and that's where you have to like kind of coax it out of them more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
It was just a lot easier in Rivals because you have like longer range hit scan with
yeah,
Solok, and I would just sit like a comfortable distance and just poke them.
yeah,
But
yeah.
definitely playing this game more is like, wow, they had it really easy in Rivals.
Rivals is a lot easier than Overwatch. I have been playing a lot
Yeah.
more Rivals than Overwatch. I've recently got back into actually playing Overwatch more recently, but flanking is definitely a lot stronger in Rivals than it is in Overwatch. Overwatch is still like mobility is king regardless, but it's a lot harder to get the value in Overwatch than it is in Rivals. Especially because supports are just stronger in Rivals as well. So getting that attention from the supports is just naturally stronger inherently, right? But I mean, it's the same. You can still take these same principles and move them to Rivals as
Yeah.
well. Like they are transferable regardless of who you play, as long as you're flanking, right? But yeah, I believe that about covers it. Unless you have any closing
I
questions.
appreciate it.
Alrighty.